Hello everyone. So daily update on Freedom Convoy protests. Starting with Ottawa's Freedom Convoy protesters dig in as Canadian government suffers Alex Jones movement. And this is coming from Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino, who said as much during a press briefing on Tuesday. There have been those who have tried to characterize these illegal blockades as being about vax mandates and fatigue with the pandemic. That is not what is driving this movement right now. That's what Marco Mendicino claimed in a news conference on Tuesday. What is driving this movement is a very small organized group that is driven by an ideology to overthrow the government through whatever means they may wish to use. Now, mind you, they are the one who are implementing emergency powers, but they are claiming that so far peaceful protesters are the one who are trying to overthrow the government. They are the one who mandated these vaccines. They are the one who actually virtually stopped truckers from earning their wages, but somehow the purpose of protesters is to overthrow the government. By the way, they also arrested 13 demonstrators in Coutts, and they seized 13 long guns and a large quantity of ammunition and cleared the blockade at Coutts. So whether this was again some sort of planted, I don't know. I honestly don't know anything, so I don't want to give wrong information. But that's what happened. To further underline their point and scare more demonstrators holding out on Parliament Hill, police have started passing out warnings urging them to leave now, and also noting that anybody blocking streets or helping others blocking streets is now officially violating Canadian law, warning them about mass arrests. So they plan on doing mass arrests. Apparently our Ottawa police is handing out following notice. So this is the notice they are handing out to the demonstrators. So yeah, that's the first one. By the way, the organizers are also claiming that all they want is the vax mandates removed. There never has been a case for trying to overthrow the government. That's what they claim. Moving on from US, DHS official, Department of Homeland Security official, defense monitoring trucker protests, linking terrorism to misinfo. DHS Feb 7 bulletin warned of a heightened terrorism threat because of false and misleading narratives, misinformation, and conspiracy theories. So they think a lot of misinformation and conspiracy theories are floating around, and they may lead to some sort of a terrorism activity. Cohen defended the bulletin at Feb 15 online event hosted by George Washington University program on extremism. He said that DHS now has hard analysis linking violence to narratives about government response to sickness, 2020 elections, immigration, and race. So I'm not sure where this hard analysis is coming from, but if you guys recall in my video or vlog yesterday, one of the expert or assistant prof was from George Washington University. I think it was some lady by name Astor. And if she is their expert, then God help us, because if their hard proof and analysis is coming from George Washington University program on extremism, then yeah, then public has all the more reasons to doubt what their real intention is. So yep, that's what US is doing. Freedom Convoy protesters are about to get arrested en masse. Ottawa police have been going from truck to truck passing out flyers to Freedom Convoy protesters which demand that they vacate the demonstration zone immediately or face arrest and criminal charges. So that's what they're going to do. I already showed you, this is the flyer they are handing out. You must leave the area now, reads the notice. Anyone blocking streets or assisting others in the blocking of streets are committing a criminal offense and you may be arrested. So that's what notice says. Notice is an escalation of law enforcement efforts as protests against vax mandates and social restrictions enter its 20th day. With the new powers made available under the federal emergency order, it is now illegal for new protesters or their supporters to enter downtown Ottawa and join the demonstrations. So people no longer have rights to do any demonstrations, it seems. I think I already covered this. 13 demonstrators involved in Quds blockade were arrested. This is the visual history of Emergency Measures Act, which was invoked by Trudeau. So war, 1970. This also looks like war, and then people dancing and enjoying in the blockades and demonstrations in downtown Ottawa. Trudeau orders aimed in part at cutting off funds to protesters have a wider scope than previously reported. Now this is extremely important. I just did a video on what the plans, establishment's plans are around vax mandates going forward. Please have a look. But see, their plans are not limited to their mandates around shots. It goes much deeper, and ultimately it will be financial repression, where you won't have authority on how you want to use your pensions, essentially saying that they can loot it. You won't have any, they might ban cash. They will bring these so-called CBDCs to make money programmable and basically unbank you anytime they want, when you are not behaving like an obedient subject of the state. And part of it is visible here through these Emergency Measure Act, which is forcing portfolio managers and security firms to take a harder look at who they are doing business with. So it doesn't limit to the banking entities, which I have covered in my vlogs, where they TD Bank surrendered some of the money. These crowdsourcing funding organizations were banned from collecting donations. But it goes further. So now they're talking about even the security and portfolio managers. So your trust can be completely taken away from you. Your banks can bank accounts can be banned and closed. Your security or shares can be blocked. So I mean, where does this stop? So new rules make demand of a broader list of entities, including banks, investment firms, credit unions, loan companies, security dealers, fundraising platforms, insurance companies, and fraternal benefit societies. So And anytime if you are helping these protesters, and you know, they can take action against all of these. It's not just banks. Canadian new dragnet will encompass basically every part of financial system, including security dealers, in order to cut off the truckers from funding. So yeah, that's the kind of society, and this is what we call a democratic country. Moving on, Trudeau is mum on when emergency measures will be debated. During the first question period, after invoking the Emergency Act for the first time on February 14th, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was asked by the Tories when these extreme measures will be debated in the House of Commons. Apparently, I didn't know this, but government is required to table its declaration in the Parliament within the 7 days, and a parliamentary committee will oversee the issue while the emergency is in effect, officially speaking on background, said at a press conference on February 15th. So, yeah, it's supposed to be tabled in Parliament within the 7 days. So can the Prime Minister tell us when will Parliament be debating this? Will it be coming to us on Friday? And does he expect that we will look at it Friday, but then rise, take a week off, and not actually deal with it until March? Who knows? This is the kind of world we live in. Whether they will actually table it within the 7 days and discuss it. And in response, Trudeau accuses Tories or his opposition of playing crass political games and divide. Premiers of Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Quebec are opposed to the federal government's move to invoke the act. So some of the senior heads think it just doesn't make sense to invoke emergency powers. By the way, I was reading, I think, another news which is not here. He, I think, arrested a news crew from US Today. He even arrested press today. So yeah, I mean, these things are very obvious, and more we allow these so-called politicians. They are not even politicians now. I mean, let alone leaders. There is no way we can claim them to be leaders, but they're not even politicians. And politics is art of negotiation. And these are acting more like thugs. Anyway, coming back to my original point, more we give up our freedoms and liberties, more difficult it will be to take them back. But with these insane powers, it's really difficult to fight these thugs. I mean, they have already cleared the Ambassador Bridge. Now they have cleared the Coots as well. Yeah, let's see what happens. But I'm a bit hopeful. More people are getting aware of all the wrongs these politicians have committed over last 2 years, and continue to do so. So yeah. Anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on this, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.